Morning all, another day, another Oliver Tiger looky-likey video. This one is a replica of an Oliver Tiger Mark III made by CS Engines in Shanghai, China. And it's a fairly faithful replica of I think a works modified Oliver Tiger. First made by CS in about 1993, I think. I'm not sure how many they made, but for sure they don't make any more because the company has ceased production. CS specialized really in making replica engines, and they made many replicas of different engines, and people either rave about them or hate them, take your pick. Adrian Duncan, who writes profusely and very authoritatively about engines on the web, rates them quite highly if you spend a little time in sorting them out before you run them. This one was sold to me by Alex Finn of Redfin Engines, who very kindly sorted it out. He takes them to bits, checks them all, puts them back together again, does a little bit of magic on the piston, and then checks them by running them, and run they certainly do. This one went straight out the box, not fussy about settings, very smooth from the very word go, quite economic on fuel, and it had that lovely bounce that we've talked about with Olivers and ball races. Of course, copies or replicas, call them what you will, engender mixed emotions, and CSs do that in spades. To the diehards, the Oliver fans who think that nothing but the genuine thing should see the light of day, this thing is anathema. Look, they say, crosshead screws on the cylinder head. How terrible is that? Well, the original certainly had slot screws, which were just as easy to muck up. This one has a red fin for obvious reasons. The original didn't, and that's also a source of annoyance to the purists. But horror of horrors, sins of sins, look here, what have we got? An O-ring, a rubber O-ring sealing the backplate. Well, they say, how terrible is that? Well, maybe, but it does its job. And then, of course, there are others who say, well, it's perhaps the only way now to buy a looky-likey Oliver at not too great a cost. And it works very well, and beginners might even use it. I know Adrian Duncan subscribes to this latter view, and so do I. But having spent a small fortune to buy a real Oliver at auction, I can also respect tradition, engineering excellence, and, dare I say, provenance. Whatever your view, if you can't afford a real Oliver or an Australian Rothwell, also not made anymore, or even a Para special from Alberto, who is still making them, I don't want to tempt Providence, but he's still making them, then the CS Oliver Tiger is your man, as they say. Well, thanks for watching. I will fire this one up again when winter retreats, and show you how it runs. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Bye bye.